as they join us to do their latest recording entitled If You Feel Like Coming Home, Baby, which I think is an absolute smash. Let's do it real good, gang, for the Bad, Bad Whispers.
If you feel like coming home, baby, I'm gonna be here. If you feel like coming home, baby, I'm gonna be here. Give me a call in the night to let me know you're coming. I ain't gonna make it any less of a woman that I've been loving all of these years. Oh, you don't have to treat love, baby, hey, like a two-legged wheel. Oh, spinning around and around, hey, trying to get a better deal. Well, if you think you can do a little bit better, right on, if you can. I say good luck to you and your newfound man. Oh,
Your folks and mine want to disown us where to. Sinners, they say. They don't approve of how we're living, but we're happy this way. They say we're living together in sin, 'cause we're not married, living together in sin. But both of us are grown, and life is ours to choose, to reach his own. We're in
don't choose too fast. Can't judge a book by its cover. Make sure that what you see is what you get, and read between the lines. Don't waste too much faith in someone else's reputation. Watch closely, they might be just a shadow of the person they're supposed to be. In the rock, just can't fake it. Gonna see what you're made of. In the rock, I can't change it. Everybody got their own way. In the rock. It's all a thing. It's all a thing. It's a love thing. The look in your eyes is more than enough to make my poor heart burst into flame. Knew from the moment we met that there was no doubt.
just loves to hold and squeeze. We've gotta make this feeling real. Hold it right now, it's only a fantasy.
Time for change.
And welcome to the Groove Studio.
Absolutely.
What a wonderful way to, yes, give it up, give it up.
Give it up to DJ Reg,
Yes.
the videographer. The brother just puts it all together every week.
Extraordinaire. What a wonderful way to enter into this segment. Love is the answer to all the world's misery today. I agree with that wholeheartedly. We are coming to you live from the Tiny Room Studios in Los Angeles, California.
Absolutely. Doing big things in the tiny room.
Doing big things in Tiny Room, yes. Our host, Clifton, is flying on an aeroplane to get here, so we're opening up for him. And so we want to welcome you all to the Groove Studio. And of course, we cannot do this show without our cast and crew. I want to start with the world famous DJ Reg.
Reg.
Hey. Happy Tuesday. How's everybody doing?
We
That was
good.
such a great video you put together.
Great
Thank you so
video.
very much. Thank you for I put a whole lot of heart
Yes,
and soul in there, man.
He literally
That's my
can
group, y'all.
edit a video in the car on the way here.
Absolutely.
And it'd be amazing. Yes.
And I've done it.
He's done it, and it's been amazing.
But he's married to a videographer too,
Yes,
so
he is.
it's like the family thing.
For sure. And we want to also welcome back to the Groove Studio the consultant, Mr. OHIO, Robert A.
Yeah,
Brown.
absolutely.
Robert.
Huh?
Yeah.
And you know we've been doing this about 9 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And every once in a while, I get excited about somebody. Most of the time, and they nice.
Yeah.
They done a bunch of things, but I'm excited about this.
Yeah,
okay?
we have some heavy hitters, as you
oh
would say,
yeah,
in the house.
Well, you know what? One of the things I do a lot of writing on, and the thing I write a lot about is culture.
Yeah.
And when you think about who represents culture, particularly black culture, it's the Whispers. Now, the other thing, I was reading this, it's either the Whispers or the OJs were on Soul Train the most.
Oh, really?
It is. One of them was on 17 times and one was on 16, and I can't remember. But, you know, who represented.
It's us.
I don't
It's
even
us.
know.
It's them.
Yeah, yeah.
One show between them, huh? Just one show.
One show
One
just
show
just
between
one.
us. So
Yeah.
that tells you right there. It doesn't really matter.
Exactly.
That's the
True.
truth. You're really right.
And of course, I'm your co-host, Shantini Ari.
Hey.
Hey.
I'm so glad to be here with these giants. We have a wonderful thing in common. They're twins. I'm a twin. We're going to get into that and how that changed their career or how that played a role in their career. But we want to also welcome our sponsors, Belle Navis Wine and Spirits.
There you go.
Y'all give
Hey.
it up.
Great wine.
Robert has been, I don't know, if he turns into a lush, we might have to blame it on them. I've never seen him drink so much in my life, actually. But yes, they love
It's
they
a good
love the
wine.
wine. This
Yeah.
is a Cabernet Sauvignon. I think I said that right.
Absolutely.
And it is a very rich bouquet, I've been told. I don't drink, but
Kind
that's
of
what
like
I've been told.
a bouquet, you know?
Bouquets,
Hey,
yes.
what?
Yes. And so Belle Navis has been rocking with us since we've been at the Tiny Room, so we want to give them a shout out. They do
Christian.
wine, they do champagne. I'm sure they do all sorts of other stuff too. So if you need wine for your party, if you're trying to have the Lord's Supper, whatever, I'm sure they will provide that for you. All right. And Robert's going to read to us our guest intro so you all know exactly who we're talking about.
Okay, tonight we welcome a legendary R&B group for, I think it's about 52, 53 years, something like that.
54.
54, okay.
You've been
And the
corrected.
clock's still running, huh? In the industry. And, as I mentioned before, yesterday was Juneteenth, and nothing says culture than groups that have lasted over 50 years. Not only that they can even stay together that long. And so, groups like the Temptations, the Isley Brothers, the Dells, the OJs, and these Los Angeles brothers, the Walter and Scotty Scott, a.k.a. the Whispers, along with Lavelle and Nicholas and Marcus, and that's the first guy, Grady? Gordy, there you go.
There you go. Gordy.
There you go.
Gordy Harmon.
These, These brothers graced the group studio tonight during the pandemic and promised that they'd come back, and guess what? They did.
Hey.
The accomplishments have been, we're not going to do that all of their accomplishments because there have been many, but NAACP, Image Awards, Grammys, and all that other kind of stuff. But yeah,
right.
Oh yes, they've done enough. They sold 1 or 2 records. I'm not sure. Might have sold a record or 2.
Maybe, I heard they might have.
Yeah, and me personally, I lived in Oakland for over 30 years, and I thought originally they were from Oakland, okay? Because I think you were living in Oakland, right?
I was.
Yeah. That's and so to find out that the LA brothers were just something else. So there's so much that we want to talk about in terms of getting to you, but. One of the things I mentioned to you guys earlier, and we got a piano and a microphone, so we want you to sing "Great Day."
There's nothing wrong with wanting.
He said there's wanting and then
Wanting
there's
is
wanting.
Because everybody's introduced to different people, different places, and all the songs that I've heard from the Whispers, including my second one, which is Olivia Lost and Turned Out, but. That was my first introduction to the Whispers, and we're going to get into that. And we actually have one of their first. I thought it was the first, and with liner notes from Bob Jones from KDIA.
Right.
So, yeah.
That was. I wasn't even in the group then. I was
Oh,
in
that's
Vietnam.
right. Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
that's
without further ado, we want to properly introduce the Whispers to the Groove Studio. You guys give them a hand.
And also Lavelle.
Yes, who will be on Zoom later whenever he
Okay.
comes back. But as you see, we have a studio audience, so everyone's come out to see you. So we want to start with first what we always start with. You two, did you come out of the womb singing? I would love to know who came out first, what that looked like. Did you both come out singing? Did one of you come out singing? How did that work for you all?
Well, let me open up by saying this. Can I say this first?
Yes,
Absolutely.
you
You guys brought us here to talk. That video montage that I saw left me speechless. I can't talk.
may. Aw, look at Reggie.
Because in looking at that, like what you just said, there was so many things that went through my mind. That's 50 years.
Uh-huh.
You guys put that together from, man, if you feel like coming home, we thought our mothers and fathers only bought that album. I mean, that was Leon Silvers,
Yeah.
as you know, who was a protege of, what's his name from Motown? Norman Whitfield.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, uh-huh.
Yeah.
He was that was a protege of his, but he did that song, If You Feel Like Coming Home. But to come from there to how long? Today,
Yes.
Yeah.
Hair, no hair.
No hair.
And you know what it was like? All the fashion changes, okay?
Right.
Because I saw Lavelle with the
Oh, man.
sweater over the shoulders, okay? You know, all the different
The
styles.
different eras. It was
Yeah,
nice to see
uh-huh.
the different eras.
Well, you know what?
Yeah.
Tell you what got me. Well, first of all, I want to congratulate you, man. I can't even think of words to say to you
Thank you, sir.
what that made me feel because it brought back memories. You know, we went from, I call curtains, that you guys didn't notice the first uniforms we had on was like curtains. They were jackets, but they were curtains.
There was
Made out of curtains.
But like you said, you would probably know back in the day, you know, we went from curtains to ball to whatever you want to call it.
Right.
But I thought some of those songs, I can't believe that you. First of all, I don't know how you even found them.
Mm-hmm. That's what we do.
That's what
That's
we
what
do.
we do.
here.
Seriously, that's what we do.
Oh, yeah.
Well, you got a problem because I'm gonna be worrying you to death. Because you got stuff that we don't have. That we don't even have.
Hey, your brother saw me at a party I did years ago. And
Yeah.
I was putting up, he said, he's going to be. I said, okay, all right. I'm going to shock him. You went up there and looking at the screen
man.
like,
I couldn't believe it.
yeah, he
It
couldn't
was
believe
simply
it.
incredible. Yeah.
All
You
the
did
videos.
it,
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
He said he had a video of us doing Seems Like I Gotta Do Wrong.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I could-
Before
I
they
don't-
noticed me.
And you got out of there before because I still don't have that.
Oh,
That was Seems Like I Gotta Do Wrong.
oh, yeah. I can make sure we can
did
make that happen.
If you remember, Scotty,
No, I
we had
remember. I
outfits,
didn't think
but we
nobody
didn't have
else
any
remembered.
shoes. We wore house shoes. That's the truth. But that's, if you remember, that song was poignant because
Right.
it was talking about what was happening in Watts
Mm-hmm.
at the Watts riot.
Right.
So man, to see that on tape,
Yeah.
with all of us, and that I think Gordy was in that video.
Uh-huh.
Incredible.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes, he was.
Yeah.
And then the moves you guys were doing and all that.
Yeah.
Man, that was
man.
like, oh, this is beautiful.
Incredible.
So you
Incredible.
mentioned Watts. Like, is that where it started for you all? Where did it all start for the two of you?
Yeah, it started in Jordan Downs Project.
Yes.
We went to Markham Junior High School, went on to Jordan High School, and I think from Jordan, Scotty was in one group and I was in another. People think that we all started together. I had a girlfriend that I was trying to make stay my girlfriend, so I got in her group.
I see how that works.
Right. Later got with the Whispers, but it all started like at Jordan Downs Projects
Oh, okay.
in Watts. And you guys all know about what happened with the riot.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
we remember that, but that Seems Like I Gotta Do Wrong came as a result
Result of that.
Oh, okay.
of that. Yeah.
Okay.
Nice,
Now,
nice.
which one came first? Which one was the oldest?
Me.
You were by how many minutes?
2 minutes.
2 minutes. Your mother was just pushing them out, huh?
Yeah, and that hurt me bad because when we went, in the military in twins,
Right.
they can only take one. Guess which one goes first?
I didn't know that. The one who's oldest, obviously.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The oldest?
Firstborn.
Yeah.
Only
Firstborn.
one. And so I had to go do my 2 years, and they left
See
Scotty
the thing
alone.
we do for twins?
Yeah,
Yeah.
amazing.
Such a
Yeah,
wonderful bond.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah.
So now, where did music start for you all? I mean, how did you decide to make a career in music?
Oh man, my dad, that started at I guess about age 4.
4 or 5 years old. First of
Yeah.
all, my dad was a big time jazz lover. He thought he ate and sleep jazz.
Oh, man.
Which is how he started us many years in, and he taught us bebop. You know, that's what he loved. And when we from bebop going into, he thought R&B wasn't even music.
Wasn't gonna last.
You know what I mean? You know.
Kind of like hip hop.
Yeah, exactly.
50 years later.
Yeah.
So us being younger, and when we switched to R&B, I remember he would always say to us, "Excuse my French, niggas sing right." like
Your wrong singing self.
you're wrong. You know,
R&B wasn't it for him.
Or he just couldn't get in to R&B. And the good thing about that, because he liked bebop, of course, it taught us to scat and all
that scat-
of
that
the
song you
stuff.
got scat on,
And
man.
y'all done that a couple
you know,
times.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but that's where it really pretty much started. That started at about around 5 years old, and then from that point on, we kind of did it all.
Now, do you guys have other siblings?
No,
No.
just the two of us.
It's just the two of you guys.
Just the two of us.
Wow. Okay.
They wrote a song about that. Just the two of
Just
us.
the two of us.
Just the two of us.
Yeah.
Want to hear it?
I'd like to hear it. Here it
Don't tell
goes.
me you got that.
So what instruments did you all carry home? You all come from the generation, and I'm not taking a stab at your age, but you guys
Yes,
come.
yes, you
No,
are.
I'm really not. But you guys come from a generation where you didn't have to go to. I had to attend a specific music school in order to be a student of music. You all had music in your schools.
Yeah.
What instruments did you
He was a drummer.
take home? Okay, and then what about you?
I joined the choir. And just
The Glee Club. You just
didn't have an instrument.
Yeah.
And to this day, I wish I had it because I wish I had learned to play the
Right.
piano. Play a little bit, but not like I want to. But I was interested in singing in the choir. Scotty was a drummer. They played big band stuff.
right.
But later on, we both migrated to vocalism.
So vocalist is singing.
Yeah.
Now, how did your parents feel about you all? I'm sure they were about education, but what did they think about you all making a career in music?
Well, my mother didn't quite, she believed in security. My dad, he was the one. My dad would walk up to you and tap you on the shoulder and say, "You see those two boys over there? Them is my twin boys.
Oh.
They're going to shock the world."
Right. You-
And my mother would want to knock him in the head. Because she was very shy. She didn't like that braggadocious. But my father wanted to make sure that you knew who his two twin boys. So that's how it started. It started very early with him. Yeah.
Now, did you guys who were your early musical influences at the time? And Watts, what did Watts look like when you guys were coming up? And what was your musical influences?
Oh, we were deeply into R&B by that time. And Watts, we were like everybody else. The Temptations, the Four Tops. We wanted to be a stand-up vocal group. Like the Temptations was at the top of the mountain.
Right.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
As far as we were concerned. But we were singing as a duet, the Scott Twins, before I got into that girlfriend thing.
Yeah.
But we really always wanted, if you remember in the early 60s, it was Motown. It was the Temptations.
Absolutely.
And so we wanted to be like that. We wanted to be a
But
stand-up.
we did. I hate to interrupt, but we should go back because it goes back to, because I'm not ashamed of my age. The fact that I'm still here doing this now.
Listen, I hear you.
No, I want to tell you about that. I mean, we got lucky later, but before all of what he just talked about, right after my dad taught us to bebop, and we started listening to people like the Four Freshmen, and he wasn't even in the group. It was me and Nick and Marcus, and we idolized the Four Freshmen, and a lot of people didn't realize the Four Freshmen was all white.
I do.
Well, I know you know who they are, but it wasn't. White had nothing to do with it. It was the 4 and 5 part harmony
The sound,
that they were doing that we were impressed with, and we were the black, Four Freshmen, and so that's where, if you notice our sound, back in those days, bass was the big thing. That
in R&B.
in R&B,
Yeah.
We had no bass.
we had no bass.
Yeah.
We had 4 and 5 part harmonies, which we loved, and that's kind of where our sound was developed, as far as I'm concerned. The sound that you hear today, that's where it came from.
All right. So, what was the song before y'all became the Whispers? What was the song that you were playing in the clubs? You guys' favorite song? Okay, that the crowd would go crazy on. That was somebody else's song.
Well, we like the OJs. We were back then. You would probably call it top 40. It wasn't called top 40 then, but it was like top 40, whatever the latest.
Right.
And to me, I think that helped our versatility because we sung everything. Yeah, and we were blessed enough to be able to sing most stuff. Monkey Time.
Major
You
Lance.
remember Major
Lance.
Lance?
By the way, his daughter was
the Atlanta mayor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But my favorite
I told
song.
my grandkids, they didn't believe it. They said, "Oh, no, you kidding?" I said,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But my favorite song and writer of all time was Curtis Mayfield.
Oh, yeah.
Man, he had a song called Gypsy Woman to
Oh,
this
that's
day.
my favorite. That is my favorite. Oh my
songs
God, I love
like
that
that,
song
The
so much.
Makings of You. I mean,
Yeah.
what he did.
I loved and I lost.
Yeah, I love that. Those
If you
were the
had a
things.
choice of colors,
Yeah,
which one
all
would you
that sort of
choose,
thing. There you
my
go.
brother?
Yeah, that's
Hey.
what. So
Curtis
before
Mayfield.
all of our hits came, that's what we did.
Mm-hmm.
We whatever they needed, we were able to do, and later on, it helped us tremendously because we were able to adapt to whatever producer who came in. And we had a lot of different producers, and we always admired producers because they each one would have something new and different.
Yeah.
And it was a challenge to be able to, the name of the game was to be able to do what the producer want. Not, I sing so well because I don't need to.
Right.
No. What is it that you're doing that I can learn from? And that's where we came from.
Now, you mentioned the girlfriend and the group. This is a fun question before we go into our music segment. Being that you all are identical twins, did you ever play a trick on a girlfriend?
We ask it all the time. Never happened.
Never.
Never happened. No.
So you was always doing the right thing.
No, that was off limits. He had who he was with. I had who I was with.
I mean, but you didn't play a trick like, oh, like I was that. You didn't see me. That wasn't me. Like you guys didn't do that.
No. We did do. We went to each other's classes.
Ah.
Yeah.
Did the
We
teacher?
did that
Did
in Jordan.
Did your teacher know?
No, we did it twice, and they caught on. You know,
Oh, okay.
see, even though you know this about twins,
Yeah.
they look alike, but you
Yeah.
be around them, you get to the difference.
See, I have a twin brother, so I never got
know
to
what
do
I'm
that.
talking-
I
yeah,
never got
yeah.
away with that.
Yeah,
But yeah, that's so cool. I love that.
yeah.
So we're gonna go into a musical segment. We're gonna play some stuff that hopefully you haven't heard in a while, and introduce our audience to some stuff that they have never heard from you. But thank you all for tuning in. We are live on YouTube. We are live on Facebook. We are live on Instagram. We are live in-house.
And I'm live.
And Robert is live off Bill Navis Wine and Spirits. We might have to get him a driver. But Reggie's going to take us away with our first song segment.
great day that's dawning. Something has happened to me that I've been wanting, and it's hard to believe that this is the real me. Oh, I finally found, hallelujah, someone I've got to live around. It's a great night. It's a great night tonight. Listen. For some strange reason, baby, you can't hide what's right. You can't hide what's wrong. These are the facts of life. So what you better do, you better do, what you better do, you better think twice, you better think twice, you better think twice. Now you said, yes you did, you'd be mine, yeah. And I could call up on you any old time. But from the way you've been acting lately, baby, you know it seems as though you changed your mind. But you know you can't fight what's right, baby. You know you can't hide what's wrong. These are the facts of life, baby. So what you better do, what you better do, better think twice, you better think twice, you better think twice. Oh yeah, you can't run, baby, you can't hide. 'Cause I'm your shadow, I'm gonna stay by your side. Girl, how was I to know when I first met you? All the changes I'd be going through, as helpless as a bird caught in your hurricane, and falling into your love I came. Cause when I first met you, I felt there'd be a change. That if I tried your sweet love, baby, my life will never be the same. Oh, I said I only meant just to wet my feet, but you pulled me in well. Yes, you did. The waters of love run deep. Oh, this good feeling. Speak softly, love, and hold me warm against your heart. I feel your words, the tender trembling moments start. We're in a world, our very own, sharing a love that only few have ever known. When colder days warmed by the sun, deep velvet nights when we speak softly, love, so no one hears us but the sky. The vows of love we made will live until we die. My life is yours and all because you came into my world with love, so softly, love. Speak softly, love.
And we are back, guys. We are back with the Whispers, the iconic, legendary Whispers. Y'all give it up.
Live in the Tiny Room Studios here in Los Angeles, California.
And some light-skinned brother snuck in. I don't know who let him in.
What they say, the light-skinned
We call him C. Mose. We call him Junebug. We call him Clifton.
But we call him the originator.
We call him from the hill. Never work, never will. Always keep a dollar bill. Y'all welcome to the Groove Studio, our host,
Welcome our studio audience.
Clifton Mosley.
Hey! Whispers in the house. They said they were going to come back for part 2.
They're here.
Oh, yeah. Now, we caught up with that.
Yeah, we've been talking about everything from them being twins and being the only kids and growing up in Watts and Jordan Down. And
Did we get to the part that we were going to talk about the original groups, you know, Marcus and Gore?
No, we haven't gotten to that yet. We're going to get to that.
Remember, that was going to take that away.
We're at the part where he went to his girlfriend's group and left his brother, and so that's where we left off.
Now, I'm coming in, the Whispers. Look at that album.
Oh,
Yeah, that's the one we just played.
Yeah.
And we were having some challenges. I know Lavelle is in the neighborhood, right?
He's
Did
here.
Is he here?
Yes.
Yeah, he was here.
Is he here? Okay.
Yeah. Oh, now he went to go do. Oh, here's back.
He ran back.
Lavelle, I was looking for you, man. You had disappeared, went to the restroom in the middle of the show. Good seeing you, man.
All right, so
That first started, but so for some reason on your end, you guys didn't bring me in. So I've been sitting here watching the whole interview.
Well, we're gonna have the
Let's go
twins
politics.
bring you in a second.
So last time we were together, you guys talked about an important member, Nicholas Caldwell.
Yeah.
And like I used to see him as Mr. Charisma on the stage, okay?
Yeah.
Because if y'all did this, he'd do that, okay?
Yeah.
But also, if you look at all the many of your credits about him as a writer, talk to us about him.
Yeah, Nick was the glue. You know, he really, I always say this, Nick was the guy that made up the middle part of the Whispers. He kind of he made the style that we developed. He kind of created it. You know, we talked about it as young guys. We said, what do we want to be? Do we want to be gentlemen on stage? Do we want to be sexy? Nick was the one that came up with I guess the style of being sophisticated. He wanted to be respectful of the ladies. So our songs tended to be like that. And he did all of the choreography. Lavelle, he probably is going to speak on this, but he created the way we moved. And he had this concept. He said, as far as I'm concerned, we need to think from the time that we're standing on the side of the stage to the time that we reach the microphone, what do we do? And he put that in our head. And so he created something for us to do from the time that we left the curtain to the time that we reached the stage until the time that we left. That's why I say Nick was kind of, and he wrote. He was the only guy in the group that did write. Lady, the biggest song that we ever had, he wrote. Say Yes, which never got released as a single, but by far the most popular ballad that we've ever had.
Yeah.
Nick-
They agree.
Yeah. And you know, and back in the day, if it wasn't released as a single, you really didn't get to, you know, hear it that much. But that song was so strong, it never was released as a single, but it became the theme song for the Whispers. And Nick wrote it, of course. So Nick was everything. I mean, Scotty can give you a rendition, and Lavelle would too, but for me, he was a guy that made the whole style of what we do possible.
Now, I do want to welcome in Lavelle, and I want to welcome you to the Groove Studio as well. Talk to us about how you came to know, what does your musical journey look like in the beginning, and how did you come to know the twins?
Oh, well, I'm gonna give you the short version because that would be a long process. I actually studied music in grammar school all the way up to high school. I was always in some sort of glee club singing, you know, the tenor through all my high school, junior high school, you know, that whole time. And, you know, I actually always loved singing and wanted to do it as a living, but, you know, it's one of those kind of things that, you know, you have to either have talent or be in the right place with talent at the same time. So I decided to move into an aviation career, and I became a pilot. a helicopter pilot, commercial helicopter pilot, and I thought that's where I would wind up, you know, doing my thing. But there was a young lady named Cookie. I remember her like it was yesterday. She took me to see a Whisper show. And I saw these 5 guys come out and in these green jumpsuits. And,
You didn't have no taste back then in clothes.
and they were in these jumpsuits, and not only did they perform and sing unbelievable, but they, after the end of the show, they were doing splits and cartwheels and all kinds of crazy effects, you know? So that was my first introduction to them, and immediately I fell in love with them. So after that point, my whole thing was to figure out how I could get a chance to meet the Whispers. And it just happened at that time, the lady I was dating, who was, you know, drop dead gorgeous, I knew she would be my end to coming in to see.
There's always a lady involved. There's always a lady involved.
That wasn't Cookie, was it? That was Cookie? That wasn't Cookie, was it?
Is that how you got in?
Bring it. You'll get in the door. So, and that's how to meet the Whispers. And then me and Scotty became really good friends because we have such a love for cars and stuff like that. So I would pick him up when he'd come into LA, because he lived up in the Bay Area at the time. And I'd take him around, we'd do our thing, and then I'd take him back to the airport, drop him off. And one day, wasn't even thinking, I started singing, I think it was either a Delphonic song or a Smokey song. And he was like, oh my God, dude, you got a beautiful falsetto. And I'm like, oh, well, thank you. And not knowing that he had taken a mental note of that. So when Gordy got injured in his car accident, Scotty fought like crazy for me, especially with Mr. Nicholas Caldwell, to bring me into the group, because Scotty said, this guy he don't get high, he wears loafers and V-neck sweaters, he's the kind of guy that we want. He doesn't smoke, he doesn't drink. So I think this would be a great addition to the group. Well, Mr. Caldwell, who, I roommated with for a whole year, said, well, let's have a national audition, and if we don't find anybody then I'll work with it, because Nicholas, his choreography meant every single thing to him. Yeah. I mean, you didn't get the choreography right, then you may as well have slapped him upside his head, because he wanted his stuff done the right way. So it took me a year of off stage, practicing with him. Solid year. I sang on the side of the stage with the Whispers. Didn't walk on that stage until a year later, working with Nicholas every night. Before the gig, after the gig. And finally I was able to become one of the Whispers, which was probably one of the greatest experiences I've ever had. And I still continue to fly, but there's nothing like entertaining people and having, I've been with them 47 years out of it.
Ooh, and 47.
47?
Yeah, if anybody told me I was going to be doing anything for 47 years.
Have you flown them anywhere? Has he ever flown you guys anywhere?
No.
He said no.
And there's a reason for that, because
in the helicopter.
We tried to get him to stop flying.
They've
been wanting, you got to cut that loose.
Passion. Like I said, I love to fly. I love flying, so I did it. I did work with the Whispers and flew at the same time, so it was perfect. I had the best of both.
But I heard you, didn't you sing briefly with the Friends of Distinction?
Wow. Yeah, Friends of Distinction. Yep, I sung with them for a minute. We went into rehearsal. I was the guy in the group.
And that was, and y'all already talked about the young lady.
Which young lady? There's been several.
Jessica. See,
there's been several that have made appearances in the story.
One of my all-time favorite singers is Jessica Cleese.
And that's right.
You talk about people. I've heard a lot. Just like I'm talking about, I be loving me some Whispers, okay? Yeah. By the way, if y'all need an old man who don't have good choreography, I can give them steps.
You can still kick it.
I know them steps, okay?
So we are a show about the songs, and I wanted to go over the playlist that we just played in Clifton's fashion style. What did you think about some of those songs that we found? Some of those songs that you didn't think we knew about, those 45 records? What
Blew my mind.
Blew your mind?
I mean, Scotty and I sitting here, I mean, this is watching it, listening to his voice. Some of those songs that I saw up there, I wasn't singing with the group at the time.
Oh, that's right. You were in the girlfriends group.
It's a Great Day?
Right.
No, yeah.
I was
No, he was in the service.
Oh, you were in the.
Yeah,
That's
he was in
right.
the
You were in
service.
Vietnam. He was taking
Yeah.
one for the team.
Yeah.
There was one particular song, and I said it to you earlier, "Never Again,"
Right.
which it got the attention of Sly. That's why we end up going to the Bay
Area. Yeah.
But that was the first lead song. I was 18 years old. I never will forget it. And at Dory Records, and "Never Again" was the first song that I can still hear the nervousness in my voice as I listen to that record. But like you said, some of these songs, I don't know how y'all got them. I just wish I could get them.
We can help you out with that.
Now we can get them to you.
The interesting thing is, these are the songs from the early years, and when you guys, I don't know if you went there, the first hit is 1980, right?
That's the
so
first
you
one.
talking about putting in the work.
For how many years
From
was that?
1962, 63 to
Yeah,
1980.
really
Yeah.
1979. Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
so you guys
Yeah.
can have like the day they get on TV and one of those songs, you be a hit from, a TV show, Voices.
A
or something
viral,
like-
yeah,
Yeah,
viral.
something like that. You guys actually put in the work, man. Let's give them a hand. We talking about 6 decades. They put in the work. And they still give a great show. I just seen them. We were at the Greek, and I watched you
the
guys
Greek,
along
yeah.
with
That was a
the
couple
great
years ago.
energy you had, choreography. My man John, the band, and all. John Valentino on the sax has been with you guys for years.
Yeah, he's
Just a
sitting there
great
with-
show. I was very much pleased and amazed to see you guys still putting it down. And you performing this Saturday too, am I right?
Yeah, at the Honda Center.
At the
Yeah.
At
Honda
the
Center.
Honda Center, y'all. Go see
Yeah, we'll
them.
be there.
All right,
Yeah.
so add on top of Nicholas, talk to me about Leon Silvers. Now, everybody got the kind of director kind of guy, and I was just, watching them from their original Silver stuff.
Yeah.
And just talk about working with him, because he had that magic, at least to me, and I'm a non-music
You're
guy.
absolutely right. Well, what we always say about Leon Silvers is that we got lucky because we caught Leon in the midst of ascending to what he was going to eventually be. As I say, he idolized Norman Whitfield.
Yeah.
So his production before his family, he was the bass player for his family in the Silvers. But who he worshipped as a producer was Norman Whitfield. And when we got together with him at Solar, he basically kind of interjected that approach with us. He was working with Shalimar, the Whispers, and his own group.
Destiny.
Yeah. They all, but he had this, he was like Nick.
Dynasty.
Dynasty. There you go. Thank you. Thank you.
He was like Nick in that he knew what he wanted to do. He was a genius guy. I mean, it's amazing because people don't know the story. He was the oldest member of the Silvers, and what they wanted to do, he produced all the music, but they wanted to eliminate him from the group because he was too old.
Yeah.
Oh,
Right.
wow.
You know,
In their mind.
In their mind.
In their mind. Yeah.
But without him, they weren't nobody.
And that's what happened.
Exactly.
right?
So he went on to produce several people. I mean, what he did with Shalimar was simply incredible.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But our working with him was, oh man, it's just unforgettable. You will never forget it because here's a guy that would go in the studio, and if there's musicians in the audience, you know what I'm talking about. We watched Leon Silvers go to the bass drum on his hands and knees,
Wow.
and he'd start hitting the bass drum, just like this. And we said, what in the world is Leon doing? He started with the bass, came up to the tom, to the cymbals. He knew every piece of music but he did it. There was no drum machines back then.
Right.
When he finished doing what he was doing, we ended up with And the Beat Goes On. And we watched him do that. So the respect that I tell people all the time, he came along there was a lot of bad producers. Norman Whitfield was one of them who he looked up to, but Leon was one of the best.
Yeah.
And for those who don't know, Norman Whitfield really put his stamp on all of the stuff that you heard that came out of Detroit and Northern Soul. There wasn't hardly anything that was made back then that Norman didn't touch it.
So was it Rolling Stone?
Yeah.
You know what? Let me say this last thing about Leon too. I think it's very important because what he did for me, and what I loved about him. First of all, he was a genius as far as I was concerned. But he made me understand the difference between a producer and a singer.
Oh, yeah.
There is a difference.
Big difference.
And the biggest problem that you would have with most singers who sing well, they can't handle a producer because they think it because they sing so well. Leon is the guy that made me understand, yeah, you sing great. But this little effort that I'm giving you is totally different. Ain't got nothing to do with your voice.
Right.
You know, like when Aretha, I remember Aretha went in with a producer. She said, "Do you know who I am?" Well, of course. But the producer said, "Do you know what I'm doing?"
Right.
That's what Leon did. He made you understand that without his element, like, "Hey Scotty," I'll give you a good example. "Keep on Loving Me," the video we saw earlier. When he first came to me and said he wanted me to do, "Hey Scotty," I said, "Man, what the hell are you doing?" "Hey Scotty," I'm serious. And we actually ended up having they had to take me out because Nick and my brother. I said, "Man, I'm not singing. I want to sing. I'm thinking singing, right? I ain't doing no Hey Scotty." But I ended up doing it anyway. One of the biggest records that we ever had. That came from Leon, not me, as a vocalist. And that's the difference between a lot of these young singers that say, "Man, I don't need no producer." Oh, yeah, you do.
Yeah.
You know,
Somebody to see the vision.
That can look at you objectively and you not ego on yourself.
And it's not, and it's the difference between a hit record and not, because a producer is going to make the song that people can sing along, that's catchy, that people they want to be able to sing along with you and be able to get into the song, or at least make themselves think that they can sing along with you. And so that's the idea of a
And
producer.
that's consistent with Norman Whitfield with Rolls Royce.
Same thing.
Yeah,
That's same thing.
Same thing he told him. He said, "Now y'all cool, but I made y'all didn't make me."
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, before we go into the next musical break, I wanted to see, how did you guys get the rights to The Godfather? That last song that we played, the music on the background was
They
from
shot
The Godfather.
somebody. They shot
Oh,
somebody.
they did? Oh, okay. We don't have to talk about that on air. But I'm just curious to know how that came to be. And I mean, The Godfather being the movie that it is, and when we hear that, we know right away.
Well, Ron Carson, who was deceased, he died, many years ago now, but he, some kind of way, got the theme. What we sung was really the theme song of it.
Right.
And how he got that hookup, especially back this, with us doing the theme. And I think he said, "You know what? You guys are the only ones who can do this the way I want it done." Because he was one of the producers that knew what he wanted. And that's where our little pop thing helped us.
Okay.
But he had the hookup for the movie. And he talked him into letting us do, and we went to the studio and recorded what you just heard.
Speak softly, love. You know,
Insane.
that's how we do
That's
it on We
amazing.
Love Red Groove. Pulling it out. Hey, let's go into our next segment of music, ladies and gentlemen. See what y'all know about this right here. You know, we getting ready to step on them for a little bit here, and we're gonna come back and talk about something that's great that you guys have just accomplished also. And then later on, I think we might have to have a little jam session here, man. You know,
They already exchanged that earlier.
Yeah, they already said they're gonna sing "Great Day." They did.
Oh,
They said they got to lower every key.
Hey, tune in to the Tiny Room Studios here in Los Angeles, California. We're streaming live on YouTube, Facebook, and also our Instagram here only, and Roku only on We Love Red Grooves. DJ Rez.
I know I won't get to see all the stars in the galaxy. Maybe I never will reach all my dreams. But there is one thing I just gotta have. And if I don't, I to see you there next to me, while in the light of the moon I kiss you, baby. I close my eyes and go back to sleep, knowing all the time that it's true. Well, when the sun opens up my eyes, someone else I could be. Hey now, who really cares? Hey, won't somebody listen? Please let me say what's been on my mind. Can I bring it out to you? I need someone to talk to, and no one else can spare me the time. No, they just won't spare me the time. The streets are dark and hanging down misty on bottle caps and scraps of paper fun. Been living on the outside for so long. I can't remember the last time I saw the sun. Hey now, who really cares? Hey, won't somebody listen?
Studios, give us, come on, we got a studio audience here. It's packed in the house for the Whispers. It's packed.
It really
in
is
the
packed
house.
in the house for the Whispers.
And it's
we
not
wa-
tiny tonight.
It's not tiny. And I want to start with Lavelle, Mr. Orange County, Mr. Southern California man. Talk to us about
A fly guy.
what was it like? How did your life change? You talked about the almost a year of boot camp that you had, basically. How did your life change once you joined the Whispers?
Oh man, it changed significantly. I mean, when you
His Mac
struggling-
level went up.
Hey, Lavelle, let me, before you say this, I want them, they have to know this. Nick did not want Lavelle in the group.
Okay.
Period.
Why is
Another-
that?
Why not?
Well, let me give you he'll explain it, but I got to say this much. He and Scotty, Lavelle and Scotty were best of friends by cars. But Nick came to us and said, yeah, he's a clean-cut guy, no smoking, good looking and all of that, but he can't move. He said, Scotty, he can't move. And Scotty, and you remember he told you, we were doing choreography where we were, acrobatics, we were really imitating. If you guys ever saw the, what's the twins? The Nicholas brothers.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Harold
We
and
saw,
Bayard.
so we were doing we're doing the splits and the cartwheels and all of that. So Nick said he can't move. There's nothing that we can do because he can't move. Scotty said, look, give him a chance. Let's work with him.
Mm-hmm.
So Nick said, Scotty, because of you, I'm gonna get this guy shot. And Lavelle literally worked behind the stage for 1 full year without singing to the audience.
What?
Wow.
They heard him, but they never saw him.
Wow.
After the show, he and Nick would go, and like he said, Nick was a fanatic about his steps.
Mm-hmm.
If you couldn't get him exactly the way he wanted them,
You could
he
see
wanted
that.
nothing to do with you.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
he
Lavelle,
hung
you
in
take
there.
it from there.
Yeah, you need to explain what you went through because you the one who went through it.
It was like a boot camp every night.
Yeah.
I mean, boot camp. I mean, we were traveling, and at that time we were working a lot of the chitlin circuit. So we were out there, 6-7 months just straight touring, and so every night it was a boot camp. I mean, Nicholas had the energy. We were young, so he had the energy of like crazy. So after he did his show, or even before they did the show, we would probably spend 2-3 hours just rehearsing steps and him making sure that my hands were in a certain position and I knew about negative time and what to do with my body when the music isn't playing, when I'm just standing there, how to look confident, how to look poised. This was Nicholas saying. He didn't give a damn whether I could sing. I'm in the studio cutting tracks with them and singing. And and then I go back with him and I'm like, damn, you don't even care that I could sing. All we think about is this routine. But to be honest with you, it was the greatest thing that ever happened to me because Nicholas taught me, see, the Whispers have a thing about when you're doing a show with them and and we're trying to figure out how we want the song done or how we want things to happen. You know, we could be at the show, and Scotty may say, you know something, man, I want you to take these 16 bars out right here. And, you know, and because, you know, I don't think it feels good. So let's take those 16 bars out, and I want you to go here on the track. Well, it's good for him because he's singing and he knows where he wants to go. But now I have to worry about the singing, and I got to worry about, okay, where do I go with the routine? You know, the choreography's got to change too. And they did it so much that I would get so aggravated and so mad because I'm like, why don't they just keep the stuff like, I didn't say it like that, I was cussing. Why didn't they just, greatest thing for me because it made me have to work and think and be able to moment's notice, be able to change that and be able to embrace whatever Scotty wanted to do, or Nicholas wanted to take something out, or Walter wanted to, you know, go someplace else. It was the greatest thing in the world. And it's funny because me and Nick became the best of friends. We roomed together, and I think that brought us closer together. And we had the most wonderful times in the world. But he is the one, I think for me, he's the one that made me the entertainer that I am, because he was so fanatical. The one thing you could piss him off about is if your hands are not in the right position or you disrespect what, you know, if you had a lapse in moments where you weren't that polished look and you just said, I'm gonna do this kind of raggedy today, he would let you know about it. He wanted those routines. We didn't even have monitors. He wouldn't even allow the three of us to have a monitor so we could hear what we're singing because he wanted people to see his steps. That's how fanatical he was about that kind of stuff.
Did he fine you $5 like James Brown used to fine people?
I thought it was $20.
If you messed up a couple times, $5 the first time.
Exactly.
Yeah. Did you guys get a fine if you messed up yourself?
We
did.
$100 fines.
Oh.
Even with Lavelle.
Yeah. So yeah. It changed my life because finally I could wind up doing the things for my children, for my family, that I wasn't able to do ever. And then to be able to travel, the things that we've seen and things that we've done, man, we're so blessed to be, travel around and, go to Europe or, to the islands and do cruises and do the things that most people don't ever get to do. So I feel like it was, it's life-changing experiences that I will cherish for the rest of my life.
Speaking of that, where have you guys not been?
One place, Australia.
Australia?
Oh, wow.
You mean y'all been
on all of the 6 continents?
We've been everywhere
y'all
but
been to Russia.
Australia.
Y'all been to Russia?
No.
They've been to all the continents except for all.
We've been to Japan, we've been to Europe, we've been to Africa.
But have you been to Cleveland? That's what I read. Have you lived? I'm just trying to figure out. Have you been to Cleveland?
Let me tell you. Cleveland, Miles.
You're from Cleveland.
Absolutely.
Well, then they talk about Chicago, about how cold it is. They add Cleveland to that.
On the lake, right on the lake.
Buddy,
anything on that water is gonna be.
And don't leave out Pittsburgh now.
Wait a minute.
Yes.
And my wife is from Southern California. And so I took her there, and it was snowing about 2 inches. Oh, my gosh. I told her I know every idiosyncrasy. Leaning with the wind, walking wide legs so you don't fall.
I mean, Cleveland don't play well with the weather. That's what I remember about it,
Yeah.
So now talk to us about some of these outfits. You guys commented on those heavy collars that you were wearing. Who was you said one of those outfits, you don't even know who picked those outfits. Who picks you all's outfits?
Well, it really shows you, it's an example of where we were at that time as young men.
Yeah.
When you're not mature enough, we didn't understand. Oh my God, we had some outfits that I like when we made.
I love these though.
That tune that we were singing, I only meant to wet my feet. Where did we get that outfit from?
And those weren't the curtains. You promised those weren't the curtains.
They might have been, but the other one that you saw, literally, we had a jacket made out of curtain material. That's no joke. And if you remember. I'm trying to look, but the bow ties back in the first of all,
the bow ties.
They were huge. They were huge.
but it wasn't just us. Every group that was singing kind of had that, you know.
Yeah, Del Phonics had them too.
And you know what's so funny
Blue
about that
Magic.
young? We really thought we looked good. You know,
I did at that time.
And the
I wore one.
Ruffles
I wore one of those.
Yeah.
I wore one of those to the prom.
Oh man.
Did you really? Now, who had the biggest afro out of the two of you?
And
that's
you
a
know, it
great
went back
question.
and forth.
I know, I only ask questions.
You really
Yeah.
do. You know something I never even thought about.
Well, watching Soul Train, it was different because one,
It did, that's what I'm
right?
saying,
Because
like
one of y'all's was
had a-
patted down on the
yes.
side, and the other
Yeah.
one was patted in the back. So
Yeah, we
y'all
went
fro-
to- we went to
y'all
kinda
fro-
back
y'all
and
froze
forth,
wasn't.
really.
Y'all froze didn't coordinate.
Yeah.
You know, y'all was twins, but y'all sure didn't coordinate on y'all froze though.
Sometimes they had a part, sometimes they didn't.
Yeah.
Oh, you had the
Scotty
part.
wore a part for a long time.
Oh, he wore the
yeah.
part.
Oh, he wore the
That was
part?
Scotty.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
Scotty wore the part.
Hey, now,
You know, it's a,
we played this.
Y'all research?
Oh, we do our research. Yes.
We played a song. Now let's do this. We played a song on research earlier that Nicholas produced, and that was "Sticks and Stone" by my brother's keeper, right?
Nick and Al Johnson. Yeah, Nick Caldwell and Al Johnson. Right. Sticks and
That was
Right, and it was just you two, right?
Yeah, when Nick and Lavelle produced that album.
Right.
In fact,
Come on,
that's when
Lavelle.
we set up.
I hear you, Lavelle.
I hear you, Lavelle. Come on.
Oh, you
Come
did
on.
not. What you didn't see is that because they were the producers and Scotty and I were the singers, we finally found out they did, getting into disagreements about what a producer was. Nick said, "I want you to do this." And Scotty said, "Nick, now you know I'm not going to do that as a vocalist." So we had to adjust to him and Lavelle telling us what to do. That was funny, you know. But it was called My Brother's Keeper. But we had a small production company, and Capitol gave us an ability to go out and look for other acts.
Okay.
So Nick and Lavelle said, "Well, the first act we want is the Scott twins," meaning me and Scotty. So they produced me and him.
And Walter and Scotty.
Walter and
other
Scotty,
Whispers.
my brother's
That's what
keeper.
we. Now, who else has that except We Love Red Grooves, right?
I don't know where you got, but let me tell you,
Hey.
y'all went deep into the archives to find that.
Hey, so we're gonna go into another musical set, but before that, we want to give you some things to think about. Your legacy. How do you want to be your legacy? People to view the Whispers and kind of what you brought to the musical world. We want you to think about that. Shantani's going to do 60 seconds. We're going to come back. We're going to let you guys hear yourself in a cappella.
All right, but Clifton, let me ask one thing for Lavelle.
Right. Go
You
ahead.
guys all, because I done seen 100 shows. I mean,
Right.
literally 100 shows. What's that little skipping thing you guys do, okay?
Why, you trying to learn it?
Most of the time they were doing the smooth move. And then for a while they started, I call it skipping.
They skipping like Pretty Tony from Dynamic Superior.
Tell me about that. Tell me about that choreography. You know what I'm talking about?
talking about which particular one?
I don't know, but it seems like you guys would you do a smooth one and you guys.
The one that you had to work on for a year.
You know what, Lavelle, now, as great as their research is, and I know they don't have it, because there's one song that you and Nick did, which is, as far as I'm concerned, is the greatest choreography that the Whispers. It's a song called, you heard the song
What's
Butter.
the name of it?
It's called Butter, but you never saw the, that was the greatest routine that the Whispers, Butter.
Written by Tina Marie.
Written by
Tina Marie wrote it.
Yeah, Tina Marie wrote it, yeah. But they did an incredible routine on that. Yeah.
All right,
Butter?
we're gonna
Butter called Butter, yeah.
Well, we're gonna
But-
And I
before
don't-
we leave here
That's,
tonight.
no,
So.
that's why nobody's ever seen it, you know. And another one that I think was one of Nick's best routines was "Can't Do Without Love."
Oh, yeah.
There you
That was
go.
a great one, yeah. Can't Do Without Love.
Well, that's a
Great.
video on that. I don't think there's a. Is there a video?
Yeah, there's a video
I'm
on
gonna
that.
find
Yeah.
it right now.
Can't Do Without Love.
That's
yeah.
Reggie's department right there. If it's
Yeah.
a
Can't Do
video,
Without Love.
he gonna
Looking
find
to see
it,
if Butter
right?
has one.
Yeah, and that was one of the. And
It's
you
not
heard-
butter.
guys
It's not.
perform?
It's not
Did
butter.
you perform the
it's butter.
choreography live with Butter?
What's that?
Because I got it. Did you perform the choreography live with Butter?
Yeah, you got it?
No,
You did
no,
not.
no, never
Yeah,
did.
we did. Yeah, we did.
Performed live, in on our show. But
Yeah.
we never.
You never read
We
a
never-
video of it?
No, we never did a video of it. No.
There's a video of Can't Do Without Love. That
Yes.
No, but you know what, Val, you're right. We did it in Vegas. Was it video type? What it was?
Something's here.
Okay,
I have
good. Well,
something
maybe
on
you
it.
have
There,
it.
but I don't
Yeah.
know if the video.
You might.
And Reggie might have
Talking about
it.
live in
We'll be able to
Vegas.
find it.
Live
Okay.
in Vegas.
All right, let's go to
look,
the songs and come back
Listen,
and we'll
come
have
back
it.
and we'll have when we come back.
What's that song again?
Butter. B-U-T-T-A.
Butter.
Bada.
Yeah, written by Tina Marie. That was the song she did for
Welcome,
us.
joining us at the Tiny Room Studios tonight. Give us a hand here. We got the Whispers in house. I'm your host, C. Mose. We got Robert A. the consultant, Shantani, the co-host, and DJ Reg, the baddest DJ in all the land. Here on We Love Red Grooves. Tune in. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Facebook. We're live right now here from the Tiny Room Studios. We're going to say a little acapella. We're going to jam tonight, too. We're going to have a great jam session and talk about
And they gonna
the
sing
latest project, man. And that project is getting your receipts. The master.
They're performing
Yes,
this
sir.
weekend at the Honda Center, guys. Go support them.
Who's playing with you guys at the Honda Center? Don't worry about it.
Midnight Star.
Midnight Star?
Oh, Midnight Star, Reggie Calloway. And all.
Daz
Out of
Band.
Cincinnati.
We can raise. We give them free. We
Out
gotta
of
send them a
Cleveland.
check. Who's the
Yeah,
promoter?
Daz
We're gonna
Band.
send them a
Yeah.
check for this advertising.
Yeah.
We're going to send them an
ready?
invoice.
Right.
They're going to send us a check, hopefully.
That's why
Yeah.
That's why you with me. You ready, DJ Rez? Take me away, man.
All right, wait a minute. One last thing, Lavelle, you got to work real hard now. Is you the choreography? Okay.
Ready? You guys
We're
ready?
ready.
Yeah.
Feel much like romancing. How'd you like to wine and dine? I'd like to take you dancing. Candlelight and dinner. We'll dance to sweet music. How about some Marvin Gaye? Feel like some sexual healing. Just relax and let me do things my way. This is what I do. I'll do it to get you in the mood. Maybe I'll do it all to get you in the mood. Oh, the other slave got distracted on the way to grandmother's house. Oh, wooden like golden cane, blew her mind. It changed the ways, and now she's turned out, lost and turned out, lost and turned out. Hang all the mistletoe. I'm gonna get to know you better this Christmas. And as we trim the tree, how much fun it's gonna be together this Christmas. The fire sign is blazing bright. We're caroling through the night. Such an amazing thing. You have been known to drive mankind insane. Though I know your mother is sex appeal, your father controls my will, and you're jealous enough to such a necessity. There's such a thin thread between you and hate, and when tested you often break, but still I just can't wait to fall into your love, deep in your love, lay in your love, play in your love. Love, here since the dawn of man. You're so elusive. You're like trying to catch time in your hand. Though I know there's no trust in you, 'cause every time I do, you break my little heart in two. When you're through, shame on you, love. You're sending me to my grave. I know it sounds crazy, but I'm such a willing slave.
Studios here on We Love Rare Grooves, coming from the Tiny Room Studios here in Los Angeles, California. Here in with the fabulous Whispers, Lavelle, Scotty, Walter. What you say, man? We taking y'all back, man. Yeah.
You really are. I mean,
You
way
are.
back.
But hey, all the way
Way
to where
back.
we are now, right? Still,
Man.
still doing it
Here we
6
are.
decades later, man.
Absolutely.
Amazing.
Yeah,
Ver-
yeah.
Hey, now one thing that I wanted to kind of mention about the business side of it, am I correct? Is now the masters. You guys own your masters. Am I correct in saying that, or correct me
That's
the right
correct.
way?
Yeah,
get me right here.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. We finally got the opportunity to go back, and we're in the process of doing it now,
Okay.
Nice.
re-recording our catalog.
Okay.
And you know-
tell the audience, what does that mean?
That
when you
means-
re-record your catalog and getting the receipts.
That's the last portion means the most. What you just said.
Well,
getting
I'm
the
gonna let
receipts.
Walt explain it because he's much more administrative there. But let me just say this part: the reason why we're redoing our catalog is because we weren't treated fairly in the first place.
Right.
That's we thank God we've lived long enough to be able to go back and redo what was stolen. Is the way that's the only way I know how to say it. And so now we're redoing it, and now we're gonna own it. You take it from there.
Well, yeah. The key word that Scotty said is ownership. You know, when back in the day when we came up, record companies owned everything. They determined how much you would make of what was being made, you know, royalty rates. And not just us, before us, Little Richard, all these people that came before. If you remember, I think they made an announcement that James Brown ended up getting $60 million. And that was pennies, because they should have given him 5 times that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's the way it was, and basically, it's like a statute of limitations. You know, you live long enough, and finally you get the opportunity to own what they own. So now, like Scotty said, Jehovah has blessed us to where we can do our own catalog. And when a television company calls wanting to do a commercial, they talk to us. They don't
All
talk
right,
to the
that's
record
what I'm
company.
talking
You know,
Now,
I'm talking about.
did the labels own your likeness as well? Because I know some artists dealt with that too, where they couldn't perform with
they
other.
did. We're literally today competing with ourselves. There's a company in Canada that owns Solar's material, that when we go out and do, we just finished doing, and the beat goes on, Olivia, Rocksteady. So now, when you negotiate, if you want to play that, and the company, you can go to them, or you can come directly to our company and say, we want to put And the Beat Goes On as a commercial on television. We can talk to the Whispers. They own it. They determine what happens with that music. It's now owned by us. That's the key. Yeah.
And you know what? That's what generational wealth looks like.
That's what
Well,
you're doing.
and you know what? The other part I put about this, I commend rappers because they knew from but they
learned.
Yeah, they learned, but they don't want to admit this. They came along when you could do that. When we
Right.
came along, you could not
It
do
didn't
that.
even exist, yeah.
You know, the rappers told the record companies, before we let you take our money, we'll sell it out of the trunk of our car.
Right.
Right.
And they could, because they know what distribution is. When we came along, the distribution was owned by the record company. They did everything. And the most stupid part about it is that if somebody tells you that you're gonna generate $1 million, and of that $1 million, all you can get is 20,000 of it. Well, you look at them like they're crazy. But that's literally what happened back in the day. Because they owned everything. You know?
The rappers were able to do it because you all
That's
went
exactly
through what
right.
you went
He
through
laid
first.
the groundwork
Paved
for
the way.
them to be able to. That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
And Dr. Dre said that to me. You know,
Okay.
he's a billionaire today because he understood that owning my stuff means everything.
Yeah.
I determine how much money's made from what I do.
Okay.
Right.
So, you know, you guys need to tell your story, and I know that our good friend Chan Berry's working on it.
Oh,
because,
man.
Listen, you know that
Yeah, what a guy.
You know, the history, you know, and the richness of all the specific things, the hard work of Lavelle. He had 2 left feet, and you got that right. But I'm saying seriously, telling the story that is whispers, and I always tell people, having somebody else tell your story is never going to be right. Even if they love you, they don't know the idiosyncrasies
That's
of
right.
your story,
You're
okay?
absolutely right.
And so, you know, while you guys are lucid and, you know, you good and you know, for little health issues, okay, that you really just need to go up and make sure that your story is told
Absolutely.
on your terms.
Yeah,
That's
that's
what-
very, very true.
Now,
Well, you know what? Let me say this: though. We need to thank y'all because, believe it or not, the opportunity you're giving us here now with your platform,
Yes,
you
sir.
know, we didn't come from that. Wasn't no platform where we come from.
Yeah.
You guys are giving us the opportunity to tell our story.
Yes.
And we don't take that for granted, bro. We understand the importance of it, and we appreciate it.
There you go.
we appreciate each other.
having you here.
Now let's do this. Do we have anyone in the audience that'd like to ask the question to the whispers we had tonight? Please come up right here. We got the chair waiting for you, the microphone. Don't be nervous. Wow.
Don't be
we got some-
scared.
don't
Come on
be-
up. Come on up.
Thank
Come on,
you.
come on up, Gina.
up. And introduce yourself, who you are, and what do you have for the whispers tonight.
My name is Portia.
Closer.
Okay, go ahead.
My name is Portia. I'm from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Boo.
Oh, boo. No, I'm just kidding.
The hill.
And so before I ask my question, I would actually like to thank you. Because of your music, it was the first opportunity that
Can't hear her at all.
Turn it up.
Turn her up.
Julia,
Go ahead.
And
ready?
Can you hear me now?
Not in the headphones.
Not well.
Not in the headphones.
Here, give her yours.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah. pull it
better.
close.
Yeah,
Okay.
there you go. There you go.
Before I ask my question, I would actually like to thank the both of you, or all of the whispers, because of your music, it was the first opportunity that I saw love language through my parents. My parents loved to slow drag, and my parents loved to slow drag to the music.
Oh.
Oh, wow.
So my first question is, what was your thoughts around Chocolate Girl?
I'm so glad you asked
They
that.
don't know. They don't know
it's
about
my
you.
favorite.
Who want to answer first? Who want to ask first?
Well, the guy that wrote that, his name is Wayne Bell, but there's another story. I'm so glad you asked that question because it gives us the opportunity to talk about Wayne Bell. They were called the Bell Brothers, and they happened to be first cousins to the owner of Solar Records. They had a niece that was turned out by a pimp, and they wrote a song called Olivia, Lost and Turned Out, and they brought that song to us as a way to encourage their niece to get off the streets.
Oh.
And Wayne Bell loved dark-skinned women. His wife was dark-skinned. She was beautiful. I do too. My wife's dark-skinned. But Chocolate Girl was what he envisioned of the way he thought about his wife. And if you listen to the lyrics, it's very clear. He says it. You know, he wrote, and in those days, writers would come and they'd sit down at the piano and they'd play the song for you. And he came to us and sat down at the piano and played that song. And we said, Wayne, don't you ever play that song for nobody else until you record it. It knocked us off our socks. He wrote that song, and he wasn't a great singer. But man, when you heard his lyrics, Chocolate Girl says it all. You know?
Oh, yes.
But it was more of a regional hit, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Chocolate Girl wasn't as big as, of course, like Lady and The Beat Goes On. But it's funny, when you do it on stage over and over, your audience, they know it. And when you come to perform for them, that's what they want. Like Say Yes. It's never released as a single. But that's all people would request is Say Yes. Chocolate Girl, Olivia Lawson turned out.
Now, do y'all play that in concert a lot?
Absolutely.
All the time, right?
We still sing Chocolate Girl. Yeah.
What's the song that you all sing that what's the song that if you do not sing, they'll riot if you don't do the song?
Say Yes.
So you
if
have
you
to
don't
do
say
that.
yes, you're going to get rocks thrown at you. It's amazing. Yeah, you've got to sing Say Yes.
So we're going to go into...
Thank you so much for that
Thank
question.
you, Portia. Thank you
much.
From Pittsburgh, huh?
That's right.
From the hill.
From the hill.
Never
huh?
work, never will. So what we want to do now is go into the Dusty of the Week, some samples, and then we got... If John's in the house, right? Lavelle, Scotty, Walter. If John's in the house, you know we got to have a jam session. So we got Preston Glass.
Oh, boy.
Look at
We
the
got,
they
look
looking
at
at you
that,
like-
and we
We're going to jam. That's what I'm trying to figure out.
We just going to jam.
No, we don't. Yeah, well, I'm going to talk to you, but I ain't going to do no jamming.
But y'all know, we talking about from the instruments of being here in the tiny room studio.
okay.
You guys, right? Don't worry. We ain't
Okay.
gonna. Right? You said go.
If you come to see me, hey, at the Honda Center, you say, "Oh, was that him?"
Hey, we got
You can
Lavelle
catch me
jamming right
Saturday
there.
at
Right?
the Honda Center.
Yeah.
They would make it to the Honda City.
Right.
Hey, we got the Dust of the Week brought to you by Sweet Life Digital Magazine. Sarah Harris is the editor. Every week they support us by sending out to over 50,000 subscribers. They got the #1 digital magazine here in Southern California. Go to sweetlifesocal.com. Download their magazine today. They'll be coming out with the summer issue shortly. So the Dusty of the Week tonight is brought to you.
In the Dusty, we go down in
What's
our
your-
mother and grandmother's basement and we blow the dust off of our vinyls, and that's where we get that term from.
Oh,
And
okay.
so the Dusty of the Week is, or well, for those who had basements back east, you went in the basement.
Blue lights in the basement.
In the pink
where
champagne.
my vinyl yet?
You
There
got
it
your-
is.
There it is, and you heard that nice.
Yeah, I hear
Crack.
it. I hear that crack.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear
Yeah.
it. Yeah,
What you find
When your
tonight?
father
What
put
is
that
it, the
record
four-
on, you
the
knew
four
what time it
deuces?
was.
The four deuces.
What's the
Four
name?
deuces.
Four deuces.
Four deuces.
Oh yeah,
Not
four
five. Four. Four deuces.
Out of Chicago.
Here we go.
Well, I said, darling, LJ, it really tastes good to me. Oh, darling, LJ, won't you take a drink with me? And it's a good, good wine. It really make you feel so fine. Well, I went to the store when they opened up the door. I said, please, please, please give me some more white porter lemon juice. White porter lemon juice. White porter lemon juice. White porter lemon juice. Ooh, what'll do to you? Well, the dove is a white, the bee is a porter, L is a lemon, and the J is juice. White porter lemon juice. White porter lemon juice. White porter lemon juice. White porter lemon juice. Ooh, what'll do to you? How'd you like to wine and dine? I'd like to take you dancing, candlelights and dinner. Wouldn't that be nice? We'll dance to sweet music. How about some Marvin Gaye? Feel like some sexual healing. Just relax and let me do things my way. This is what I do. To get you in the mood. Baby, I'll do it all to get you in the mood. This is what I do. To get you in the mood. Baby, I'll do it all to get.
Oublie les romantiques, les histoires fantastiques. 2007 on fume des sticks et puis après on nique. On veut des strips, on traîne, on se promène dans la street. On baisse dans les hôtels avec ou sans plastique. Puisqu'on ne sait pas dire je t'aime, on dit je te kiffe. Lequel? Le C que tu pendentif te fera plaisir pour que je te ken, pour que je te quitte. T'étais une reine, mais ma bite m'a dit que t'étais une chienne qui aimait trop la.
Grandmother's house. Rolling came through my mind. Changed the ways, and now she's turned out. Lost and 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 turned out. Lost and
Roll up a plane, take it straight to the brain. Every part of the day, I be jump in my ride, then I start to get high. See it all in my eyes, I'm blowing smoke everywhere that I go. You should already know when I wake up, gotta bake up every day, counting paper. I got 3 cell phones, plans getting grown. I hit the studio, still in my zone. I got 6 cars chilling at home and 4 on the way. Smoke weed every day, a bed brought out, pay to play. She in love with Khalifa Man.
Thank you so much. Hey, John, how long you been performing with the Whispers now?
I think 35 or 36 years.
35,
Couple
36
minutes, huh?
years. So y'all don't know how this is, and we got
I've seen it
Preston
many
Glasses. Preston, how long you been in the business in songwriting?
Y'all been knee high to a chicken, bro.
And Bob Shepard here has been playing for years, and he's just joined us as our in-house drummer. Give Bob, John, and Preston
With a butter slick shirt on, okay?
I mean, John,
you guys
thanks
ever get tired? You must not ever get tired of hearing. Is there any song, I want to know for Lavelle, is there any song that you don't look forward to performing on your set list? It's just not your...
That's right. Innocent, that's what he said.
Innocent? Is that it? Did he hear me?
Can you hear you? Can you hear us?
Oh, wait, he's thinking.
No, can he hear us?
Can you hear us, Lavelle? He can't hear
Well,
us.
I think back in the day when we were doing it, was I really didn't like Mother from My Children.
Okay.
All right. What about you?
I couldn't get into that song. I've got to find a mother for my children. I'm like, no.
What about you all?
He took the words out of my mouth. He beat me to this.
Oh, you guys didn't like that song?
I begged us not to do it.
Wow.
You know, but sometimes you win some, you lose some. We would go in the
Absolutely.
studio and tunes would come up, and Dick Griffey was a great A&R guy himself. But this was, believe it or not, this was Gamble and Huff.
Yeah, they sent
How
us to
they heard
Philadelphia
us
to
singing.
work with Gamble and Huff.
I don't know
Yeah.
how they even heard us singing that song.
Yeah, one of their writers wrote it, and they proposed that you guys should do this. It was the same way with Living Together in Sin. That was one of their tunes that we did. We didn't necessarily want to do it, but that in those days when you go and work with the producer, Ches Janner sent us back to Philadelphia to work with Kenny Gamble and Leon Huff, and what they did is had their young producers work with us.
So you
But Living in Sin was a great song. I mean, it spoke, the lyrics was like how black people spoke back then. Like, we grown and they got something to say about it, but we gonna figure, like, that's how we talk. So I like that.
I love living it. What I didn't like was Mother for, I'm like
Oh, you
Lavelle.
didn't like that? Yeah.
Mother for my children.
I thought it was a jam myself.
But tell me this:
have you ever actually heard it?
Yeah, I have. I've heard it.
You gotta play it. I'm just.
I can tell you guys don't want to hear it, but
No, I didn't feel away.
Tell
Because
me
we
that-
had the same argument about Innocent. Robert Brookins produced Innocent, and some of us, I loved it.
You said
Lavelle and
Robert
Scotty.
Brookins. Wow.
Robert Brookins. You remember?
Yeah.
He should be alive today. That's a great producer. Yeah.
Tell me this: are you working with any young producers now to do some new music?
We're not working. We run into young producers that want to work with us,
Right.
and we definitely want to work. But our priority now is getting as much done of this catalog.
Okay.
Before we leave here.
Okay, I got you.
Well, that's what we're doing right now. We're gonna, because we have 27 albums that we recorded, and we're not gonna record all of those songs, but
Right.
we want to get as many of them done as possible, so our grandkids and great grandkids.
Now, what he told me on the break was, talk about how it's important that you had to re-record the song.
Oh yeah, because what's been recorded is their property. It belongs to them. When we re-record it, it belongs to us.
Just like
So
the
they gotta
re-record,
redo
right? We had the
everything.
re-record of Olivia Now.
That's exactly right. We've done the
That's
Olivia
our
again. Yeah,
version.
that's
Right,
our
that's
version.
right,
of it.
right.
Yeah,
So we
just
had that version
So the
now.
ownership, to sound exchange and all of that, it belongs to us.
So we're gonna close out with that tonight. Tell me this: how do you want we're talking about legacies, and how do you feel that you want your legacy to be left? To the music industry.
Well, you're gonna get three different.
Right.
But for me, we've done what I really wanted to do. I think when Nick told us very early that we wanted to sing music that would have longevity about it, he also wanted it to represent a respect for women. We've done those things. We've recorded music that was for the times, like Seems Like I Gotta Do Wrong.
Oh, yeah.
Olivia, we tell those stories. So in my mind, and then the last thing is longevity. If anybody would have told me that we would be singing 54 years later, like this weekend, we're going to be at the Honda Center doing a show after 54 years, that's the most gratifying thing to me that I can think of.
right.
Yeah.
Jehovah. How about you and then we'll get the Val?
What's that?
Scott.
Scott.
Well, mine is real simple. I mean, I guess us being twins, he always beats me to the punch. He said it like I did. I mean, the only thing I regret is that when it got to be really, really good, my dad wasn't here to see it. I wish he had been, because this was really his dream.
Yeah.
But other than that, I'm assuming, and I just feel like he kind of did see it, but he didn't physically really get to see it. But other than that, like Walt said, we don't have nothing to be. We're the luckiest guys on earth.
Yeah, but
And you, Lavelle? How about you, Lavelle?
Well, I just want that when we retire, I want people to be able to look back on the Whispers and say they were one of the best groups that ever. You know what I'm saying? It's important that we left our memory with them. That we put everything we put in our performances. That we were thinking not of just walking on stage and just barely getting through it. We always tried to put a lot of thought into how we presented ourselves. So when the Dust Players, I hope that people look back and say, man, these guys were one of the best choreographed groups. They did it very classy. They had great songs. They always respected the ladies. They always, gave respect to ladies because, we have sisters and mothers and daughters, and we want to be remembered as that. One of the things that we did is that we wind up.
And don't underestimate the power of respecting women. There's so much power in
And
that.
you know what? Let me say this. I don't know if you want to close with it, but as usual, we do have a song that says it all. We recorded the song, and that's why we did it. It's called "The Whispers Love You Too." What Lavelle just said, you listen to that song, you'll hear all of that.
Yeah, that's true.
And the mere fact that people come see you 54 years later
And
is
still.
a testament, because that's what, we were talking before the show about everybody once in a while can have a hit or maybe two. But the Whispers are there and still headlining in big venues, okay? They're not in the corner in the dark in the back, okay? The Whispers are out front, and so that's the legacy that
we feel
your father would be proud of.
And if you doubt it, you whispered earlier on the break that I'm much too young to know some of these songs. If you ever want to know about your legacy, most of these songs you recorded before I was even born.
That's exactly
I might have been conceived to some of these songs, I don't know. But I know these songs, and I grew up listening to these songs. So let that be a testament to your legacy, too, that it transcends generation. Not only do you have generational wealth financially, I hope that for you, but that you have generational wealth within the gifting that you've put out there.
Thank you so much.
And if you want to find the Whispers, you just look up the Whispers. That's all
that's
social
That's
media.
simple.
All your social media is the Whispers, Instagram, Facebook, your website. So everything is the Whispers there. You guys are re-releasing music. Please, hey, let's listen to the new Olivia.
listen to the new stuff.
So they can get their credit, their masters as they do now. So this Saturday, you guys are out at Anaheim at the Honda Center.
Yep.
I'm gonna put y'all on the spot. Y'all got any tickets from the
Here he
promoter?
goes, here he goes.
Y'all got any tickets? I think always gonna be for the listening audience.
Wait, 4 days before the concert.
Yeah, I know.
You kind of favor Lavelle. If you show up early enough, you might be able to get in.
No, we'll work it out.
We'll get it. Yeah.
You might be able to
I was
sneak
trying
in.
to do something for the studio audience for coming out, hanging out here in the We Love Red Group studio.
Thank you so much.
Everybody for joining us. Please tune into our show. The replays will be on our YouTube channel, also on our Roku channel. We want to thank the Tiny Room Studios, Corey, Max Julian over there. He still don't know why he's called Max Julian from the Mac. Can't do it without Robert A. Shantany, DJ Reg, Satin Touch Production. He was looking at me like, man, how did he get it? Hey, Scotty Walter, how did y'all get it? Satin Touch Production? Jimmy G. Jimmy G took care of you.
And shout out to Bell Navis Wines and Spirits for keeping everybody in a good spirit while
Wait a
we've been
minute,
here.
Clifton. Max don't understand that the Mac was done at the Sportsman's Lounge where used to be the
Third Grove.
The Whispers cut
Is that where they had the Mac of the Year?
Oh yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
You remember that, huh?
That's
he was there. That's when he was there.
They were at the Sportsman's Lounge, so that's when I said, I know they.
Watch when he walk away with that Mac walk. Hey, John, appreciate you, man, coming through for me again. Appreciate you, Preston, coming through again.
And
Bob,
Gina.
Preston, and Gina. My wife got me here safely from the airport along with Sharon. Thank you so much.
We always
Appreciate you
love
all.
when Faye is in the house. It's always a treat. And Cameron,
Yes.
too.
59 years.
59 years, and next year we're going to do a 60th.
The 60th year?
Exactly.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh, we've been corrected.
Oh, we're gonna come in
Yeah.
and do a jam session for the
Okay.
60th year, right?
Yeah,
And I'm
that's
put you on the spot right now.
Pictures and video.
Absolutely.
Part 3, right?
Oh,
Down
yeah.
here now, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Are you kidding?
So thank you again. Take me away with Olivia. Thank you again, everyone, and our
Thank you,
studio
guys.
audience,
Thank you.
also
Thank you so
everyone
much.
that's
Thank you
listening
so
to
much.
We Love Red.
Thank you for
Appreciate it.
following us on
Subscribe.
Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Follow us.
As we, DJ Reds, do it.
Good night.
I drop. Okay.
Now I'm here. Def, take care of